Opening statement.
Opening statement. Yeah. Can't take the scholarship away. We're good with questions. Your name's over here.
No, you should say where Coach Gasso sits.
No.
I dare you.
That's mine. Can I have some?
Sure. What is he gonna do? Cut you?
Hey.
That's good.
Yeah. Drink your water. Yeah, drink your water. Hydrate. I actually want to go inside. This might be bad.
Oh.
I have Powerade. I know I need a Powerade. Yes.
We started at 7.
Yeah, do it. Yeah, you're going to make me do. Yeah, we are. I don't even know what you're talking about.
All right, we're going to go ahead and get started. A reminder, no recordings during the press conference. Please make sure to silence your cell phones and electronic devices, and then give your name and affiliation when given the mic to ask a question. We'll open it up to player questions. So, holy cow. We'll go front row left to James.
Say LOKC Sports Radio in Oklahoma City. For all the seniors, well, all of you are seniors here, right? So, what does it mean to win this championship? For some of you, 4, Kelly, you're first. You guys are the greatest senior class ever. What does that mean to you guys?
Okay, I'll go. All right.
Come on, captains.
This one is, to me, I definitely felt a little bit more sentimental. We grew up together. I came in at 17 with Boone, and then they came in freshman year after COVID, and, Kelly transferred in, and just, I'm so proud of this team, and everyone had their hand in it. It was never one hero at the plate or one hero on the mound or anything like that. So this was a team effort, and we fought all season. Everybody had something to say about us all the time, and people counted us out, and it was just a grind. All in, mentally, physically, and we fought the whole year, and it was all so worth it in this moment.
I think God was in this year
Yeah.
the biggest. I think just being able to just sit back and think of all the natties, but this one I felt his hand over this program more than I ever have. There was a lot of souls saved this year, and probably some that we don't even know about. But just knowing that people are watching us and they're asking questions about, why do you do what you do? How are you even able to do this? And the answer is always God. So I feel like God was really present this season.
All right, we'll go front row right now.
Brady Vernon, Softball America. Just Kelly, putting softball aside, what has this past year been like growing with this group, and what the final out kind of meant to you?
It's been awesome. This whole team, they're special. I'm just thankful that I got to be a part of this. We've been through a lot this year, but like Boone said, God was here. He's present, and I can feel that, and I know that just wherever we go after this, we'll be taken care of.
All right, we'll go front row left now to Ryan.
Ryan Aber from the Oklahoman. For all the players, maybe starting with Jada, Kinsey just called it a grind of a season. What was the toughest point in it for each of y'all, and how did y'all sort of push through that to get where you are now?
Yeah, honestly, the whole season was tough. For me personally, I know I had very high expectations. So even just right off the bat, just playing our first game, I felt the pressure, I felt the expectations. And as we went on, if we lost 1 game, 2 games, lost to Texas, everyone had an opinion about us. And it was frustrating just to see everyone on Twitter and on TikTok just hoping that anyone else but us will win. And well,
Yikes.
yep, that didn't happen, so we're blessed.
Yeah, I would just say the same thing. Not even pressure from the outside, but I think pressure on ourselves. I think for me, that was my biggest thing. Trying to do everything I can for this team, but in reality, I didn't have to do anything at all. And I think that was when I was at my best, when there was no expectations on myself, just to be on this team, just be present, just to celebrate everyone's successes. But that was my biggest struggle this year. But going through this postseason, I felt so free, so much fun, no expectations, no pressure. But Jado's right, like listening to everybody and hearing all this stuff, but we did a great job of staying within each other. We didn't let it bother us at all. And we just came out here, we stuck together, and it's family.
Yeah, absolutely. My biggest struggle this season was definitely more on the physical side. I struggled with a little bit of injury earlier in the season, and if my whole career I've kind of had things going on like that. So just kind of learning to fight through that and go through, like we said, this whole team has fought and fought all season long, and I hope that being in the leadership role this year, that when I was fighting through that I was able to lead by example. And I'm just so proud of this team's fight, truly. And it was hard the whole season, and we fought through it, and it was special.
Yeah, I'm with everyone else. This whole season was hard. Mine was just learning to be at a 10, and I know Jay knows what I'm talking about, but being able to exhaust myself for others to the best of the ability that God gives me. But just trying to stay in that role, but also not trying to do too much while I'm in that role. I know, I like being 9-hole, and I'm okay with that. And I know that, these great softball players, once generational players, they get the job done. So I really, to me, just felt the role to be their backbone in any way that I could, whether I'm over, whether I'm not over, but just being able to encourage them outside of the field and just knowing that they're enough without softball.
Mine was definitely my decision to come here. I received a lot of hate, a lot of doubt, but I'm just thankful for these girls and this team and this staff just to pick me up and have my back, and just everything that I've been through, and to have God right by my side, just working in my life, and I'm grateful that I'm here.
All right, we'll go second row right to Justin.
Justin Martinez, the Oklahoman. Jade, I want to ask you about the morning of that elimination game against Florida and the speech that Shay Knighton gave you guys. Just in that moment, how much did her message resonate with you guys and prepare you for the run that you went on to make?
Yeah, I will never forget that meeting for the rest of my life. I have looked up to Shay Knighton since I was in the 7th grade, and just first off, for her to just be in the same room as me was surreal. And just for her to just open up her heart and just talk about the Lord, and just pretty much just telling us that we are not alone, and that she's been through this before. And anytime that we were on the field, that if we just want to look up to her, that she can just give us 30 seconds of encouragement. And I use that very, very often ever since she told me that. So, but it was just a surreal moment. I remember I just started bawling, crying, and I don't really know why, but just sometimes the Lord just moves your heart in just a certain way that, that's just something I'll just never forget in my life.
All right, we'll go front row left, Eric.
Eric Bailey with the Tulsa World. For Kinsey and Riley, does a 4-year career go like a blink of an eye now that you're sitting here in your senior year? And what were some of the words of wisdom you got from some of the older players that played before you? And what do you want to let players like Cassidy know, like Sid know, some of those younger players? And what kind of legacy do you want to leave for them?
Kinsey,
I would say that the legacy that we kind of wanted to show them was to leave it all on the field every day and to never take it for granted. Riley and I came in, we played about 20 games our freshman year, and it all was taken away in a blink of an eye on March 13th, and we were sent home. So I never thought I'd be thankful for COVID, but here I am with a 4-peat, so thanks Jesus for that, I guess. But just being able to show them what true tenacity looks like, and showing them to never give up and never give in, no matter how much your body hurts, no matter how many L's you take, no matter how much you get punched in the mouth, like I said the other day, just to always get back up and to always keep going.
Riley, do you have anything?
Yeah, you're nice.
Yeah, I'd probably say me and Hanson could agree on that. This it matters, but it doesn't matter. Like, this is very spiritual wise. Like, this is unsatisfying, but you remember, like me and Hanson freshman year, you remember the breakthroughs that God moves inside Jada, Tia, Kelly, like the baptisms, that's what matters. And people are going to remember you for what you did off the field, not on the field. Like, records are meant to be broken. We did that this year. But I just, like, for Cass and Ella, Maya, all the underclassmen, like, be an impact off the field, and you'll never get forgotten in their lives because you mark hearts there with what you do to them.
All right, we'll go second row right to Myron.
Myron Patton, OKC Sports. Kelly, I don't know if you knew, bottom of the sixth, you were alone. Camera was on you. You were looking down and seemed to be really in deep thought. Could you share with us what you were thinking about, what was going through your mind, maybe even talking to yourself? I couldn't really tell, but it was on. Camera was on you quite a bit. What were you thinking about that moment?
I was just trying to be present, be where my feet are, be grateful for what's got me here, and for these girls and this team, and just to do anything that I can, to leave it all out on the field in that moment.
All right, we'll go front row left. Ryan.
Kelly, I think we know stuff going on in the background, things like that with your decision. What was the most difficult part of pushing yourself to perform this stage, this team, while balancing everything going on as the year kind of continued?
I think just through hard work, staying true to myself, just kind of keeping my head down. Even though, like, you don't want to see it, you still see it, and it still kind of gets to you, but just not being able to, say something back, just being able to go to work every day and just have fun, to be honest.
All right, we'll go second row left to Jenny.
Hey, Kenzie, you obviously had probably more time with Kelly over the course of the season. You all come in carrying the burden of winning another one, and so I know the pressure was on everybody. But how was it unique for her, and how did you sort of see her processing through that to get to this point tonight?
Like she said, when her decision to come here was not easy, and Kelly and I caught her in Japan a couple years ago, so our relationship was already built beforehand. So just being able to be there with her through every step of the way and see her grow through it, it was just a special experience. I mean, her confidence has gone through the roof, and just being able to kind of establish that. I never got my chest bump, though. I got the dog pile, though, so I'll take it. But just being able to kind of be there for her, no matter what. Like, even if she was giving up home runs or whatever happened, strikeouts and shutouts, I mean, I was there with her the whole entire way, and she knew that. I told her a bunch of times she could throw the ball wherever she wanted, and I'd still catch it. So I'm just so proud of just how it started to how it ended. I'm so proud of her, and just I get to catch her this summer too. So I'm really looking forward to that as well.
Go second row left. Last question for players.
Kelly, Thomas Jones, Austin American Statesman. Yeah, you came on in the fifth, I think 2 on for Mia Scott of Texas. A weird play at first base. From your perspective, what happened there, and just how big, with I think you guys had a 1-run lead, how big was that moment in the game?
It was huge. I mean, they definitely had the momentum in that moment, so just being able to try to stop it. I saw Mia Scott kind of come off the bag, and I was just telling Avery, like, turn around, let's get her, come on. And she finally heard me, and we got it done. So it was pretty cool to see and just to be able to get out of that.
All right, that'll do it for players. Thank you. All right, we'll start front row left here with Jesse.
You can't half drink it and put it back. What's wrong with you? You're what?
All right.
Sorry.
All right, we'll go to Jesse now, front row left.
Jesse Crittenden, OU Insider. Patty, you hear the players talk about all the things they pushed through this year to get to this point, to win another one. When you think about the things they pushed through this year, Texas, Oklahoma State, the Florida game a couple of days ago, what new things maybe did you learn about the senior class? How did you see them deal with it? And maybe how much does it mean to see them push through that to get to this point?
I think we've hit some times where we were kind of low, and I just felt they really look forward to postseason, and they're very resilient, and they feel invincible, and that's the way they play. You hear their faith has a lot to do with this, so they're never afraid. They're not afraid to lose. This is bigger than a game for them. It's about life. It's about trust. It's about all kinds of things that they've changed each other's lives with. And it wasn't easy this season. I hear them and I agree. It's probably the hardest coaching season that I've had in a while because of a lot of the naysayers, a lot of, I don't know. It's heavy. It's just, I don't know how to explain how heavy. And that heavy is the head that wears the crown. Is the one thing that really stuck out when I heard someone say that. And that's really has felt true. It's been exhausting. These players are exhausted, but they keep going. And it's the love for each other. It's a love for the game. It's a love for the university. But they're elite athletes who have extreme passion that when I first saw these guys throw the bat down after a walk, I'm like, what are you doing? Don't do that. You're showing up the umpire, or you're going to hit somebody. But we do it. They do it at practice. And I've learned to allow them to be who they are. And the old coach of me would not allow any of this. But this generation, they've taught me a lot about coaching. And they taught me how to accept who they are and how it looks. And I mean, I think that has a lot to do with a lot of things, that I just allowed them to be them. And it's hard sometimes because some of it I'm like, oh, no. But it's important to them. But they've taught me how to coach better.
All right, we'll go second row to the right to Joe.
Joe Masato, the Oklahoman. Patty, there's never been a program before you guys to win 4 straight. I would guess it's hard to put in perspective something that's never been done before, but what goes through your mind when you think of a 4-peat and winning 4 in a row?
How do I explain this? I'm so in the moment with them all the time. It's almost like, well, here we are again. It's I think when they're on their own, that I'll start understanding it more. But it's almost like, let's go. Okay, let's go win another one. And people say, let's go win one. And you're like, oh, okay, it's not like it's very difficult. Everything has to go right. And the thing about them is they're resilient. They have a lot of pride in that. And with that, it's hard for me to comprehend. I'll continue to say this one was the hardest to manage. There was a lot of different, we lost a lot in the summer, players to the portal. We brought in some great ones. I can tell you that Kelly will, this season, but this postseason, and especially the World Series, Kelly will be changed forever. And that is the greatest gift she could give us. Not the championship, but watching this young lady break out of her shell and smile and laugh and just enjoy being a good pitcher with good players who really appreciate and respect her. And it's not anything to do about anything else except what I know happened here. And I watched it and experienced it, and it was amazing, amazing. And that's just a tribute to all these names here and those who aren't. What's really weird for me is in 4 years, I've never had to cry up here. But I did anyway, but because they were all sitting here. When they're out, I don't, it's easier. But it's like I haven't felt the hurt of the last loss. And that is just incomprehensible. At this level, it's crazy, but it's an honor.
All right, we'll go back over here to the front row left to Ryan.
Patty, first press conference of the year, asked you about the 5 that have been here the whole time. Mm-hmm. We'll all have the moments on the field, play highlights, all that stuff. That'll live on forever. What are you going to remember off the field about those 5?
I'll tell you, it's funny that you asked that, because on Twitter, I guess, there was an interview of Jada Coleman at 13 years old. I don't know if, anyway, she's doing an interview and she's going, well, Patty's really hard. And she's just a little kid. And she's talking, she's saying my name out loud, which she would never do right now. So, and she's like, I won in, junior high, and I'm expecting I'm going to win in high school. And now that I'm going to OU, we're going to win it all there. I'm going to win it every year. Like, she's speaking it into existence as a 13-year-old. I just watched these athletes have grown into women, and they come in as girls. They really do, and they'll admit that. But each one of them has something about them that is unique. I'd say Jada and Riley Boone have so much energy. What you see is exactly what they are like every single day. And they crash. When they crash hard. But they live life hard. And then you got Hanson, who's like the brute, you punch us in the mouth. I'm like, don't do that. Don't do that. But that's Hanson. Like, they all have their own, and Kelly's gotten to learn about these guys. And Tiare is just the calm, quiet, level, They all have such big personalities. And then there's a balance of someone like Tiare. But I do really want to, Tiare and Hanson have been voted captains, and this is a tough team to be a captain of, and they've done a really great job with that. But at the same time, I've shout out to Boone and Coleman, because those two make this program go. They are full of energy, and that energizes everyone. When they aren't energized, we aren't energized. They took it upon themselves with some guidance to know that was going to be a very special situation if they could do it. So we called them the Chaos Coordinators, and they took that title and they ran with it, and it really sparked this team. So they all have brought in something different. And as much as I'm going to miss them, they've been here for a long time. They've done everything you could do and more, and it is time for them to fly. So Olympics, pro, marriage, there's lots of things coming their way, and I'm really excited for them. And I just think, oh gosh, I'm going to miss them. We're going to be at championship reunions like 4 years in a row. So I'm like, we're going to see each other a lot. Hanson, Carly Keeney, and Tiare are going to stay as graduates, assistants. So a lot of them are going to be great coaches, go into coaching. And this one right here is going to go to vet school. So they all have wonderful things ahead of them, but they've cemented this program in history. They've cemented themselves in history. And history, can change, but these guys will never, ever be forgotten.
All right, we go front row right now.
Jana Bardall, The Athletic. Patty, going off of that, this group of seniors has really left their mark on the program. But how do you evaluate the path you have going forward to continue on what you've built these past 4 years?
I'm ready to start coaching again, because I don't have to coach this. They know it. They've got it. They coach each other. I'm really excited about what's coming. I love what has happened with our freshmen. Oh my goodness, I did not anticipate that. So the future is very, very bright. And I know you haven't asked the question, but I have to say, I respect Texas and that program and what they've done. They are an elite program, and they're going to maintain that for a while. They've got a lot of very good young players and great coaching, and they've done a great job with their staff. Their pitching staff is outstanding. So I would be remiss to make sure I didn't shout that out, because I do tell you, we're both going into a new conference together, but Texas always makes us better. And I think that we could both agree that we do that for each other. And that's how we get here. That's why we're looking at each other on the national championship stage.
We'll come back to the front row left here to Eric.
Patty, is it almost unfair to try to say, where does this team rank among all your national championship teams? Is it almost like trying to pick your favorite child because they all mean the same to you when you look at all of them?
You know that answer exactly. You said it exactly. You answered that question for me, yes. They all are so unique. You know, they're really unique. Every team has something different that you'll remember. This is a high energy group, all of them. And that's it. For me, as I'm getting older and they have so much energy, it gets exhausting for me because I just can't keep up with them. And I think what they're going to be known most of is just records, winning and records and breaking records and winning streaks. And we lost one game last year. We lost one game. We lost 6 this year, and you would think that, oh man, they're going down. I'm like, wait a minute. So we have to keep resetting. I have to keep resetting. Our coaching staff has to keep resetting. And I will tell you also, this is not your question, but I have to shout out to my coaching staff is unbelievable. And I'm sitting here, and it's like pitchers. They get the glory, but the catchers make the pitchers great. And they are phenomenal catchers. I'm proud of JT as my son. Jen Rocha was a former athlete of mine who is now one of the best pitching coach in the country. And Fale of you Steele is now back on staff. So it's just been an amazing coaching experience with great coaches who help create this greatness that you see on the field. A lot of hard work goes into this.
Just have time for a few more. We'll go front row right now.
Just what has it been like to watch TRA the last 4 years and become one of the greatest hitters this sport's seen?
I'm a fan just like everybody else. And she's just really, really calm. She doesn't really get mad at herself very often, and that's what I love about her is she's very, very steady, and I think that's what makes her great. But what I'm really proud about too is the biggest question all of you guys were asking was who is going to be the next shortstop after Grace Lyons? Who is it going to be? Oh, I think it's going to be Avery. But nobody was really talking too much about TRA. TRA did a great job on defense. And everyone talks about her hitting, but our defense was as good as it was last year. And TRA is just, man, I really hope that she keeps going. I think a few of these guys up here have great opportunities to be Olympians if they keep going and they stay the course and stay disciplined. That's going to be a phenomenal honor on top of this. What can beat this? An Olympic gold medal. So I hope they continue on that way.
All right, we have time for 2 more. We'll get a second row left to Barry.
Yeah, Barry Trammell, Tulsa World. Patty, what exactly was the pitching plan? The girls said that you gave them a rough outline. Did it go sort of the way you were hoping it to in terms of the sequence, and then how they produced? How pleased were you with the way they all 5 threw?
I tell you, this is one of the most enjoyable games I've ever been a part of because of that. And we have not done this season, but we knew we couldn't throw Kelly. We just can't. I did that one time with a girl named Paige Parker, and I'd never do it again. It wasn't worth it. So it was exactly planned out, and it worked exactly how it was supposed to a T. It was just Jen would say, okay, it's time. I'm like, are you sure? She goes, yes. I'm like, are you sure? Now? And then I'm like, okay. Because it was new to us. But what I loved is that every pitcher had a part in this for the most part, even if it's one batter. And at the same time, our hitters were going, this is cool. Let's score them some runs. And so when Texas would score, they'd want to come right back because they wanted to see this whole thing play out. And it was really wonderful to see Nicole May. It was wonderful to see Carly Keeney on the mound with the start. And I know you don't know much about her, but if you did, you'd know why I feel that way, is that this girl grinds every day, never complains, total team, always positive, a big part of the faith of these young women as well. And then Nicole May coming in, I like her kind of in that second half, and she just dealt. And speaking of dealt, deal was dealting as well, if that makes any sense at all. So it was really wonderful too. Peyton Monticelli comes in just for one, that's it. That's all we need from you. And so it was really, really cool. That's one thing I'll always remember is just what this felt like. It was probably the least tense I've ever been. I mean, I'm looking around like this is the national champion. We could be winning this right now. And I usually your heart's doing that all the time. And I'm just like laughing. I mean, I'm really having a wonderful time with them because it was just felt easy. It just felt, I don't know, it was so real. It was so real.
All right, last one. We'll go second row left to Mason.
Mason Young with the Tulsa World. Patty, you referenced the future a couple times within this. What was it like seeing your freshmen and also a lot of your sophomores and juniors blossom on this stage this week? And how excited does that make you for the future?
I'm really excited, and they are too. And this group of seniors really left their mark. You know, that's one thing you want them to do is leave the program better than you found it. And they really did a good job of training and teaching these young athletes what it's going to look like in the future. And I think they both won awards tonight. Didn't hear, but they were like sobbing on each other. And I'm like, what is the matter? What just happened? Because there was pandemonium down there. But that's something to build off of as well. And we've got some really outstanding future Sooners on their way. So I'm going to be coaching again. It's going to rebuild this program and get it back here, hopefully.
All right, that wraps things up. Thank you.
I lastly want to say thank you to all the NCAA and the groups that work here, all you guys that put it on. You guys back there are great. You've made this World Series just so enjoyable, and that you guys listen and you help. It's been awesome. Where's my girl at? Thank you so much. You were wonderful to work with. And all of you guys, thank you for covering softball. That's why, back in the day, there was like me and James. And Barry. And a few more. But now it's a full house and it's awesome. So thank you guys for following.
Thanks, Patty. Thanks, Patty.